You're listening to MLVC, the Madonna podcast, your place for all things Madonna Louise, Veronica Ciccone. Hey, everybody, it's Stefan.
Hey, guys, it's Tony. Welcome back.
And today on the show, we are joined by singer-songwriter Regina Richards and songwriter, producer, and drummer Stephen Bray. Welcome to the show, you two.
Welcome, guys.
Good to see you again.
Thank you.
So excited to have you guys on here. We're going to talk about the re-recording and re-release of Baby Love and how we started out with that song, I guess, in 85, 86, and here we are in 2026 revisiting it all over again.
I'm afraid to ask how many years that is.
40.
Is it 41 or something like that, right?
That's really odd because Regina's like almost 30. I'm like about to turn 16. And well, we're really happy to have you guys here. First of all, I want to get started. Tell us about the early days, Regina, with your band Red Hot, because it was Regina and the Red Hots, right?
Yes.
And you guys were playing in clubs in downtown New York in the early 80s. And so was Stephen. How did you guys cross paths? And did you guys ever were on the same bill, or what kind of clubs did you guys perform in?
Well, my first gig ever was at Max's Kansas City. And then I went from there to CBGB's and back and forth, and then Tracks, and then every local New York club I was playing. But some years into it, like after the Red Hots were, recording with Richard.
When was that, Regina? When were your first Maxes and Red Hot and CBGB
gosh,
gigs?
78, I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So this was in the midst of the punk rock explosion in New York City in the Lower East Side.
Oh, yeah. Yep, it sure was. I mean, Sid Vicious used to come see us, and he and, I forget her name.
Nancy?
Yes, Nancy Spungen.
Oh,
They
my
would
goodness.
come backstage all the time, and yeah. So we were the Damned. Everybody was playing.
That's legendary.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was so cool. And then we eventually got a rehearsal space in a place called the Music Building on 10th, right, Stephen?
8th Avenue.
8th?
Yeah,
Okay.
8th and between 38 and 39. I think, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Something like that.
There's a lot of lore that revolves around that building. Tell us your story.
Well, it was, you walked in the building, and as soon as you get in the elevator, as you're going up, you hear all kinds of music coming out from all the different rooms. If the doors open, you'd hear someone rehearsing, they'd shut. It was pretty wild. It was a great concept, and it was very successful back then. I mean, people were like on waiting lists to get in there. I know, Steve.
It's still full occupancy. I was there, I think, in May, earlier last year, 2025, and it's completely full of bands. It's the same thing.
Wow.
Jack Lerner, who started the building, his son Roger now runs it, and it's just as thriving as it was then. It's crazy.
Were you just strolling through the hallways, Stephen?
Pretty much. Well, I like Memory Lane as much as the next person, and I was in New York, and I really wanted to see some of the rooms, and it's like Regina says, it was just this really unique community. It's kind of like a conservatory, a music conservatory, except without teachers or tuition, where everybody was trying to achieve, something similar. And I think we probably, did I meet you because we wanted to demo in your room or something? Because you guys had you had the best recording equipment in the building.
Yeah, we did. And we had a big room, too. Our room was about at least twice the size of a lot of the other rooms.
Yeah.
And that's how we met. That's what I was getting to. That's how Stephen and I met. And we introduced ourselves and, the Red Hots. And then, the rest is history.
So, Regina, once you decided to dedicate yourself to songwriting, how did you, fast track to Baby Love, how did you come up with Baby Love?
Well, that's, I was writing from, I wrote the Red Hot songs, most of them. So I was always a writer, but when the Red Hots dissolved, I talked to Stephen about it, and I said, listen, I just want to write for other people. I don't want to record anymore. I would rather write and get songs placed. And he said, oh, great. We'll collaborate and do some songs. So we started doing that. And that's how, well, Stephen, I'll let you explain about Mary and how everything got going with it.
Well, the specifics, yeah, but you jumped forward about 2 years because we played together, right?
Yes. I mean,
because I met you in probably '81, I'm going to say.
Yeah, and we were playing for a couple of years in the Red Hots.
And we were called Emmy at the time. Donna, Brian, Gary, and myself. We were called Emmy. We did a couple of demos at least in your room.
Yep.
And I think that's when you said, oh, he plays drums okay. And you invited me to play with the Red Hots. So that's when we really bonded, too, because I was so impressed with your songwriting. You had such an amazing scope of skill. You were writing like rockers, you were writing pop ballads. And I had never met anybody that was as prolific and as sort of able to write varied kinds of songs.
He's gonna make me cry.
and the band was really great. Charlie was, and then Max on bass, and Nez, of course, on guitar. And it was just, that was my first experience with, I'm in a band now,
Yeah.
And so because we opened for the Vapors, we opened for U2,
Oh, wow.
we opened for Squeeze.
Yep.
And we had a good 2 or 3 years of all that stuff.
Yes.
Kind of like helping us bond and understand each other's tastes and stuff like that. So jumping into, I think, 1985-ish probably,
Or maybe.
or 84-ish.
Yeah.
Maz Kessler, who is the co-writer on Baby Love, was also one of the citizens of this building, and she was in a band called State of Desire, and it was she describes it as an art funk band. And Mary and I used to, Maz, she prefers to be called Maz, but I met her as Mary. We used to argue a lot about what's cooler, pop songs or art funk songs. And at one point the argument got to the point where she just said anybody can write a pop song. And I said, okay, do it. And I gave her this, I had some ideas for chords. I had the chords of what became Baby Love. And I said, okay, write a melody and, what's the lyric to this? And she came back with, I would say, Baby Love beta version, right? The beta version of Baby Love. And it is, the verse melodies are the same. Regina stepped in and took it from the beta version to the, let's release this. This is really good. Let's pitch this. And because it was, it was good, but it got really good once Regina joined the team, and the chorus suddenly became really hooky. Because I think, Regina and I have talked a lot about all the bubblegum songs that we love. Maz mentions, I don't know, you guys are probably not old enough to know the song Puppy Love.
Oh, I remember. That's Donny Osmond's big.
Exactly.
Yes, it
Exactly.
was.
So
No, but that was the.
I'm going to go back even further. Frankie Lyman had a song called "Why Must I Be a Teenager in Love?" I think.
Yeah.
The New Edition had "Candy Girl" much more recently.
Candy Girl, yeah.
Another like roots or influence I would say is like Tony DeFranco and the DeFranco family. That Heartbeat, it's a love beat. That's all in the same genre. Whose idea was it to make it like a teenage love song?
That was Mass.
Yeah.
That was Mass. She kind of came in with, it's going to be these teenagers, school kids in love for the first time, kind of experiencing all these feelings for the first time. But like I say, the polish came from the woman on the Zoom with us, the room coach.
Well, I remember too, you said, okay, he goes, and we need another verse. And I went, oh, okay. And it took me, 2 minutes in your apartment. And I just wrote it because it was flowing so well, what we all had added, that it took me 2 minutes to write that third verse, along with what Mary was kind of, aiming for.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Because the song was born on 8th Street, I think.
Yes.
Down there in the East Village, where I had a little room I was meant to be my living room, but it was a studio.
Well, I had a studio. That's what I had, was that 12 by 12 foot apartment, and it had a kitchenette in the wall. Yeah, Union Square.
Regina, when you guys wrote Baby Love, had you been signed to Atlantic for your solo album, or did that come after you guys wrote Baby Love?
That came after. My first record deal was with A&M Records.
Uh-huh.
Herb Albert,
yeah,
and Jerry Moss. So my first label was A&M, and then when the Red Hots finally were slowing down to the point where, I don't even know how it happened, Stephen, but that's when I said to him, let's start writing just to play songs.
Mm-hmm.
I had no intention of being the artist on it.
I can tell you how it happened. It slowed down because, can we say that we were showcasing, because I went through that phase with you. We were showcasing for, because you had it was A&M UK.
Yes, A&M UK.
Your deal?
Yep.
Did you guys have to go do the showcases at the New Music Seminar that they used to have in New York?
We did them in Regina's Lounge.
Oh, wow.
In the music building, yep.
I mean, that was, again, I was really impressed because, like, the A&R executives from at least 10 labels came up in that horrible, it's like a death trap of an elevator to the 10th floor, I think. And were you 1002?
Yeah, 1002.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we showcased for all these people, and they just, one by one, they were like, oh, you guys are great, but, then you just didn't, hear from them. So, can I say the kinds of gigs we were doing to sort of, make ends meet?
Something
Regina?
sounds like this is going to be saucy, and I'm here for it.
It's not going to be saucy.
It was actually fun, to tell you the truth.
Yeah. We would be rehearsing top 40 songs to play at various parties.
Yes.
And we survived that way for what, like a summer, maybe?
Yeah.
Let me guess, you guys were going to Long Island?
Yes, darling.
Yeah.
Yes.
and it would be funny because we'd be rehearsing all these pop songs, and then someone would knock at the door, and we'd all kind of stop. Like, that wasn't us.
Yeah. We're punk. We're new wave.
We're punk. Yeah, we're punk and we're original. We're doing our own songs. We would never do that. That wasn't us. That must have been the next room over. Playing Joan Jett. We were probably doing Joan Jett songs.
Oh, yeah. And
as part of the set list. And how about Nikita? Of course. Yeah.
I mean, we had so much fun.
But I think that led to your decision to like, let me just get a publishing deal, and get some covers out, get some songs out into circulation, which is what we saw for Baby Love. Although I think that this might be a question you're about to ask me, but I think because we're now in the territory where I think we were working on True Blue. I was working on that.
Right. So I was going to say, obviously, there came a time where this song almost went to Madonna.
My caveat here is that, let me put it this way: I have two grandchildren now, so my memory.
Papa Bray.
Granddad, remember that time we took us to the park? No, I don't remember. I think I pitched it to Madonna. I think I said this would be perfect because True Blue is all love songs, right? Mostly love songs, and so. I think I had to have played it for her because I was proud of it. It was, I thought it was really good.
Last time you were with us, you also told us that there was a demo of Baby Love recorded by Phoebe Cates and Jelly Bean Benitez producing it. Now, was that around the same time? Were you guys shopping the demo before you decided to just make it a Regina track?
Jelly Bean did that I didn't know about that because I wasn't involved in that. I heard about that. I feel like I discovered that recently, like in the last couple of years. Somebody sent me a copy.
Oh my God! When you told me about it, I've been obsessed with hearing that ever since. But
it's good too.
Tony was on the dark web trying to find it for
mostly.
Exactly.
Well, Steve, he had to. Once the people who came after me and said, "You're doing this, you're singing it." Jelly Bean had to wait to release his version because I was one of the writers.
Yeah.
Oh, so you knew about it? You're saying you knew about it?
Yeah, I did know about it. I can't believe you forgot about that.
See, there you go.
Didn't he say to you, just take out whatever Regina did? And you said, I can't.
It's the whole song.
That my memory is definitely. I don't remember that.
Yeah, but I mean, it just happened that way, and I don't know if his version ever came out.
No, it never did.
No.
Yeah, so wild.
I mean, it's pretty note for note, in terms of the arrangement. It's pretty close.
Yeah, at the time, Phoebe Cates was signed to Columbia Records, and they were just throwing everything at her. But they only came out with one album, and then she walked away from that. But Regina, I would love to know what was your reaction when the project suddenly became about you? And I mean, I love this album. I mean, I've had it I bought the record. I bought the 12-inch. I've had it in my phone for years, and it's just such a good album. I mean, I play it for people, and they're like, "Is that Cyndi Lauper? Is that Madonna?" I was like, "No, this is Regina." Like, let's call it what it is. But I'm curious about what the record company wanted you to be as opposed to who you were at the time. I want to hear about the hairstyle. That is crazy. That must have hurt your head, by the way.
It hurt like hell. I would be in the car and say, "Patrick, get it out, get it out." At like 6 a.m. going to the airport from some radio morning show I did. And I would just, "Get it out, get it out." It was pretty amazing. Hopefully no brain damage came from it.
No.
I don't think so. But yeah, Patrick came up with that idea. Patrick was my, so to speak, stylist. And when I had the Red Hots, we all just did our rock and roll clothes. Like I still do rock and roll. When I go out, I've got on black and cowboy boots and my own jewelry. And, I've always been like that. But the people producing me, etc., with Baby Love decided I needed an image. So they found Patrick, and Patrick used to work with Cyndi. He was on the road with Cyndi, too, and did her stuff for a couple of years. So they got a hold of him. So instead of shaving the side of my head, he made those things, And I mean, it worked out. It worked out. But of course, now I'm not doing that anymore.
No.
Yeah. So
it was a great look. It was very Charivari, Fiorucci downtown, but elevated. It wasn't like street urchin like Madonna did early in her career. Yours was very polished, and almost looked a little European. So so tell us about the promotion for the album and Baby Love. You had to go to Iceland to make a video. How did that happen?
That we had a guy in London, that part of the label. Do you remember him, Stephen?
Yeah, George.
Oh,
You're talking about George?
George.
George Hallgraves.
Yes, George Hallgraves. And he knew somebody in Iceland, a production company. And that's when he spoke to my, at the time, manager. And they said, "Okay, we're doing the whole thing in Iceland." And I'm like, "What?" So I get there, and these people are on it. They are like with it. They know what they want. They have this whole thing. I also shot a second video there called "The Making of."
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I don't think it was ever released. The Making of the Baby Love video. And they had these two little Oliver Twist kind of kids. And they were like sneaking around the set and watching me, and and the guys kept chasing them out. So it was really cute. But did that, came back, and then boom. By the time
you were kind of a little actress in that video. I mean, you're like, what the storyline is like.
The whole spy plot was cracking me up.
Right.
Was that
Regina's
your
under
idea?
surveillance.
Was that the record label's idea? And it's kind of creepy how they
it was
are
these
putting
guys
these cameras
in Iceland.
They're putting these cameras in your apartment while you're away and miking your phone and then watching you when you come back. And I was like, something's a little shady.
Yes, it was pretty freaky. They had the whole thing down, and the scene that I remember the most was the one where I picked the phone up and then I go, "What is that?" They had this, with chewing gum, they put the little tiny microphone under the It was great. It was great. Yeah.
That's
But
crazy.
it was like, okay, this guy is like on a weird vibe of having to see exactly who Regina talks to, where she goes, what she does. So, yeah.
So when you finish the video and you go back to the States, promotion for a hit single is very different in 1986 than it is now. You had to go to radio stations, like you had to physically show up to the radio stations, talk to these DJs. You had to go on TV shows like Dance Party USA and American Bandstand. Tell us what that was like.
Oh yeah, it was busy, and I was recording the album at the same time. I did a lot of shows. I even was on Oprah Winfrey. I was on morning news shows. The major New York channels,
Mm-hmm.
and I may be forgetting some stuff, Stephen. You might tell me, but
Well, one thing that I don't think you mentioned is that I think somebody had the idea that Baby Love should be an import in the States to give it cachet. And I think that the person you mentioned, George, in London, it was released in London first.
yes, it was. Yes.
And then it came over here, and then Atlantic got involved because I think it's on, what is it, West 78th Street or something like that?
Can't remember, but yes, I know.
Yeah.
I'm picturing the cover
If you
now.
watch the original video, it does say West 78th Street up at the top. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that was the British single.
Yes, they did
And
release
then, and
in England first.
yeah, I think the idea was like
Which is the thing with
it'll
me.
get more attention as an import, right?
Why does everything I do come out in England first? I'm telling you, it's
Well.
because they all think I'm from England. Because
Well, it certainly worked because I think that's when Atlantic, said, "Hey, there's something here, and you expanded it into a full album."
Kind of veering off a little bit. So I'm sure I wasn't old enough yet, but when Baby Love, the 12-inch came out, was it played a lot in gay clubs, and was it like a hit? Did you go and perform at gay clubs? Did you get to meet your gay fans?
oh yes, definitely, like crazy.
I think it was like pretty high up the chart, right?
Yeah.
Did we top the dance chart?
Yes,
at
Yeah.
some
that was
point?
number one dance and top 10 pop.
Mhm.
And then I actually was on the black chart too at that time. Yeah. And they kept saying, we want to
Soulful.
meet
Very
Regina. We want to
soulful.
meet Regina. And they kept going, oh, she's traveling right now.
Who do you remember? Who did the remix? Was it?
thought
It
it was
wasn't
you.
Jelly Bean, right?
You did the
No,
remix.
no. Oh, that's right. I did do the remix. See, that's what I mean. I'm like, was it Shep Pettibone?
Steven,
Was
what's
it,
in the tea
Yeah.
you're drinking?
Oh my God!
I know,
This
right?
it's called Memory Enhancer and Echinacea or something.
Well, I'm very happy you did the remix
Um,
because I love the guitar flourishes in it. I love the bass line, and I love I don't even know how to say it, but like when it sounds kind of like a harp or
Oh, the arpeggios!
Yeah.
I
Yes.
love those
Love that.
arpeggios.
Yes.
Yeah.
They were great.
I'm sure I've mentioned many times in many interviews that I'm a big Todd Rundgren fan, and Todd Rundgren sort of like his early stuff. Those arpeggios are those little synthesizers that are just sort of sound like magical harps, because harps could never play that fast, but
Yeah. So
it's a beautiful
Regina, as I mentioned earlier, I was growing up in Houston around the time Baby Love came out, and it was on heavy rotation on all the pop radio stations. And I remember a few times, not just once, but a couple of times, the DJ telling us that this is Madonna's new single. And even, I remember one time I called the radio station, but they wouldn't pick up. They were busy. But,
to yell at them?
didn't
yeah,
know
I
that.
mean, like,
That's
come on,
crazy.
guys. Like, this is lazy. But did you ever encounter that during your promotion tour where people like unfairly compared you to because
Yeah. I ran into that. But I mean, on Oprah Winfrey, I kind of straightened it out. I said, hey, our common denominator is Stephen Bray. And you take a genius and you could put him with, who? I can't even think right now. And they're going to have a pretty good sounding song.
Mhm.
And his style too. Whatever Stephen does, a lot, I can hear stuff and go, that's a Stephen type thing. That's a Stephen
absolutely.
track. And I really think that that had a lot to do with it.
Mhm.
Plus, recording for years before. And then when I met Madonna, she said, wow, you're so lucky you have a record deal and everything. And, she was talking about the A&M Records one,
Yeah.
she was like this
Right.
little waif, and I felt like her big sister.
Mhm.
And so, I had been doing it. But whenever they compare us, it's like really a compliment to each other. I wouldn't,
Yeah.
and of course to Stephen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't there's similarity between, the Stephen Bray Madonna tracks, but it's not very glaring. I mean, unless you have an ear for it like I do, because whenever I hear Breakfast Club or, for example, the Jets' Cross My Broken Heart, the song you did with Kylie for Rhythm of Love, it's like I hear elements and I was like, that's got to be a Stephen Bray track. I mean, it couldn't
Yes.
be anybody
Yes.
else,
I get you.
It's because the parts are all simple enough for somebody who doesn't play that well.
Simplicity
to play.
is ace in
that's
pop
the
music,
common-
though,
But
That's the common
making something
denominator.
simple,
Simplicity is a key.
as classic as it is, that's not an easy feat, Stephen.
I think about, people don't say that, of the many people that Max Martin produces, they're not copying each other. You know what I mean? There's a connective tissue because he's got a sound.
Yeah.
And, and Kashif, if you guys are old enough to remember Kashif.
Yeah.
He worked with Whitney
he would
Houston a lot,
produce-
right?
Yeah, and Evelyn King. And I mean, just amazing records, but they have a very similar sound, regardless of the artist he was working with, and so
But
I think it's just
on the other
comes with
hand,
the
you're
territory.
very diverse, though, because I remember when I found out that you worked on The Color Purple, on the music for the show, I went to see the show and then I bought the soundtrack, or I bought this cast recording, and I was like trying to find like the Stephen Bray sound in there,
It's
but
not-
I didn't, but I was like, this is a very skilled musician who knows what he's doing and knows what genre he's in when he's working in it. So
Yeah. The fact that we were in 1914 definitely precluded a lot of. There will be no magical synthesized harps.
So Baby Love took off and has had a life of its own. I mean, specifically, Danny Minogue had a big hit with it in 1991, I think, and that was a big hit in the UK and in Australia. And another thing too that I was telling Stefan about is that I think Ryan Murphy is a big fan of your song, because it has been in Scream Queens and it's also been featured in Pose in a beautiful scene. They played the 12-inch. And how does that work when another artist wants to cover your song, or it needs to be licensed for film or TV? Do you guys get approached, and what is that process?
They usually don't talk to us because the publishers or administrators of the song are the ones that have to be approached, because they need licensing from those individuals. So I think they'll I don't know, Regina, what your deal says, but in my deal they call me and they'll say, Ryan Murphy is interested and do you approve this?
Yeah.
Sometimes they need the approval. Sometimes they probably don't really need it. They do it out of a courtesy more than anything else. But yeah, that's all handled by them. But I'm really happy that Ryan Murphy likes the song.
Yeah.
I'm proud of both of those scenes, because I think I've seen them both and they're really great uses of the song.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, when you see the song, Regina, when you see the song in a different context, what does that say to you?
Well, I mean that it's a copyright that's going to go on for a long, long time. Because I mean, I can be so happy that Baby Love is doing what songs that I heard when I was a kid that influenced me to write are still doing. You'll see it over here, over there. I mean, that's the sign of a good song. Yeah.
A diaper commercial.
Yes.
You guys did a diaper commercial with that song?
No. I'm just putting it out there.
No,
Tried to get it into the Love commercial.
Manifesting the next.
One of my friends was a lawyer, and he, knew a lot of people in TV, and he tried to give it to Love, so that it would be Baby Love, right? Or Baby Loves. I would have made it plural, but they said, "Oh, we're not doing that right now." And so I wasn't too happy about that, because I thought it would have been perfect. And then,
But you never know when those things happen. I mean, they don't have to tell us.
Yeah.
They don't have to tell us that when, I don't know if you guys are football fans, but one year we were watching the Super Bowl, and suddenly Janelle Monáe is singing "Express Yourself." I had never
Never knew about it.
no I found out about it watching the game.
That's so funny.
wow.
It's always a
Good
good surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, Regina, I follow you on Instagram, and for the past few years, I've seen you pretty much tell your fans, like, this version is not the version you need. Wait for me. I'll come out with a new one. What was the problem with the rights with the Atlantic release?
Stephen. Picked up that
I
call.
was very, very calculated with this frequency. I was thinking, oh, good, there's that question. Let me just make myself.
I mean, it never affected me because I uploaded the album directly to my phone. But my friends would ask me, like, "Oh, send me that playlist," and then Baby Love wouldn't be on it, and they'd be like, "Why not?" I was like, "No, this is my copy, but you can't stream it right now." But
I think the safest answer to that question is that the people with the rights to the original master are not really active right now. And, that's kind of what happened. They just sort of became inactive, and we can't do anything about that.
Well, but
I mean, we did something about it.
Do something
Yeah,
about
we
that.
did.
Yeah.
We
So
did. Yeah.
tell us about this reunion and how you went about creating Regina's version, which was recently released.
Regina, do you remember how it started? I remember calling you and going, "Hey, I'm coming to Austin."
Yeah, and I, because your sister, does she still live here?
Yeah, she's there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we had dinner that night, and we were talking about things because, I mean, Stephen and I have written other songs together too, and which I'm hoping we'll be back in the studio getting those together. And we decided to redo it. I think you really wanted to redo it, largely because the other one wasn't available, and we were both hearing that there was so much interest in the song. So we decided to redo it.
Yeah, and I just, it's been one of my favorites because it's just, I've been super proud about Baby Love because it was the team, I think you're, in terms of the recreating process, the team is really small. It's really Regina, me, Paul Pesco playing guitar.
Oh, Paul Pesco. You guys go way back, right?
Yeah. David Sanborn playing saxophone.
Oh, wow.
And, super, super proud that it's Dave Sanborn on that. May he rest in peace.
Yes.
That's a great sax solo on that song.
Oh, yeah, it's so good. The original of that he played in my living room.
Oh, I just got chills.
Because and that's partly why I'm so proud, because we did that all in my apartment except for the background vocals with Evan and Saida.
Yeah.
We did the originals up in this little studio on 9th Avenue.
Wait, so
I
Saida
can't
Garrett
remember
was
the
one
name
of the
it.
backup singers?
In the original, right?
In the original.
The
on the
original,
original.
yep.
So the production team was pretty small, and then the gentleman that sang with Saida was very famously the vocalist in Heatwave, or one of the vocalists in Heatwave.
Oh, wow. This is all
Do you remember
news
that,
to
Regina?
me.
Yeah. And
Evan Rogers, right? It was Evan wasn't it?
Rogers, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think he's the voice of. I don't know if he's the vocalist on Always and Forever, but
Or did he produce?
Boogie Nights.
Yeah.
I think he's one of their principal singers, and that was amazing to have him and Saida in the studio.
Yeah,
That was
because
really
we
great.
did.
But recreating it didn't require a whole ton of people, because so much of it had been done in my apartment and with Michael Hutchinson mixing and engineering, recording and engineering. So it didn't take a lot. I came to Austin and we booked a studio, and Regina sang it, and I thought, oh wow, she sounds just like she did.
Yeah, you do.
Well, that's what I
40
wanted
years
to
ago.
ask that. Like, just to clarify to everybody who's watching and listening, this was completely 100% redone, right? Nothing was reused from the original, correct?
No, we're also blessed, I should say. The recreation team includes Michael Verdick, who you guys know from, I met him on True Blue. He recorded, Papa Don't Preach and Live to Tell, and he's legendary. And Ambrosia, Juice Newton, he's got an amazing list of credits. And he's got crazy, he's actually in my backyard right now recording something.
Oh, nice.
He has crazy, super nerd, OCD ears like I do. So we listened to something and we're like, well, was the guitar slightly out of tune? Was the guitar in which pickup? What position was that Stratocaster 5 position pickup in? Was it 1 or 3? I think that sounds like 3 to me. This is the kind of conversation we have. Mm-hmm. So when it came time to recreating what happened 40 years ago, you couldn't have picked people to have more, that would have more fun doing that. Yeah. So that's kind of what it was. It was like listen and go, okay, well that's this patch on the Oberheim. I know I had an Oberheim, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, and then Paul Pesco is always a hoot to work with, and we've been, like you say, we go back to 1980, I think.
Yeah, he did percussion for several Madonna albums as well, correct?
That you're thinking of Paulinho.
Oh, Paulinho da Costa. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, not Paul Pesco. Paul Pesco played guitar on the Virgin tour. That's where I met him. Actually, no, I go back. He played in the band with John Gordon. No, he took John Gordon's place. It was John Kay, Paul Pesco, David Frank from the System.
Oh, yeah.
And me in early Madonna, one of the early Madonna bands. And that's when I met Paul.
The System, Don't Disturb This Groove, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So Paul's part of that band too.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a big liner notes reader growing up, so it's like all these names like live in my head rent free, and it's when I talk to you guys, it's like my head explodes.
Right. Well, David Sanborn, for me, same deal, because I'm reading like you are with a magnifying glass now. Mm-hmm. But back then, I could read that small print, and David Bowie, Young Americans. Yeah. That's David Sanborn. Mm-hmm. Stevie Wonder, Tuesday Heartbreak.
Oh my God! Yeah, it's classic.
Yeah, he's an amazing guy.
So you went in and re-sang the song and reproduced it with. I mean, even the baby noise sounds identical to the original. Like that, I think that's why it doesn't. People don't believe that it was completely redone. Is because it's so identical. Mm-hmm. If you listen really close, you can tell that the background vocalists are not the same from the original. But I think other than that, everything sort of sounds just like they just remastered it.
Mm-hmm.
And we had to decide. Like Michael's really good at questions about. Well, if we were doing it now, we probably wouldn't do that because that sounds weird. Like there are certain things about the original that you just wouldn't do now. And it's like the question is, well, do we match the original or do we try to bring it into the future a little bit? So sometimes I call these mixes the Back to the Future mix because there's a little time travel involved where you're trying to create the illusion that it's what it was, but you've actually made some adjustments just for modern ears and modern speakers too, because we all listen usually with these things now.
The minute I heard it on my phone, I was like, no, I got to put on headphones, and it's really good. You guys did a great job.
Thank you. And there's an Atmos mix for those people who have Atmos speaker systems, which aren't a lot of people, but we have fun making Atmos versions of things.
I'm looking forward to the remix of the new.
That's right. That's next.
Are you
on the
kidding
list.
me? Yeah. Oh my God, they just made me so happy. and so you guys are working on other tracks, like maybe for an EP or.
Well, first up is the remix for sure, which is just tricky because it's. We did that. Back then. You kind of did remixes on the fly where you just sort of like, oh, what about this? What about that? And then you kind of cut it all together. Mm-hmm. So rebuilding that it sort of defies logic sometimes, and it's going to take a couple months to probably put that together. But then, yes, Regina, we did Love Time. Is that the song?
Oh, we did Shake and Tremble.
Shake and Tremble. Right. But then you want to do Love Time, I know, which is on Curiosity.
Yes.
Right?
And Stephen and I wrote that one that got onto the album, but I want to do it with you. Produce it.
Yeah.
And then Get On With the Night. Get on, keep moving.
Is that not out? There's no version of that out there?
Nope. just our demo.
All right, well,
Get on
2026.
with
Let's do it, guys.
Right?
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
Regina, I'm going to put you on the spot for a second. Another thing that lives in my head rent-free is your PSA with McGruff the crime dog. Remember that? Users are losers and
Just
losers are
say
users.
no.
Yes, just say no.
Yeah.
How did you get involved with that? That was so catchy, so catchy.
Will be the president and his wife. Actually, Nancy Reagan was in charge of it. He was doing
Yeah.
the pre-summit hearings. And Nancy Reagan was in charge of it. And somehow they got a hold of me and asked if I wanted to do it. So I was like, sure, you know.
Yeah.
And what was surprising, I met the FBI. I mean, I met so many people.
Did
at
you go to the White
release.
House?
I can't even tell you. No. This was a big meeting in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
And the president was actually in this building at the pre-summit hearings. And we were on another part of the floor. And all the FBI, they were all over the place with their little ear things and everything. So I got friendly with a couple of them. We were talking. And I said, well, how did you know that I was okay to do this? And they went, oh, you were thoroughly checked out.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Just like the video for Baby Love.
Yeah. I was
You've
like,
been
oh,
vetted.
my God. And he goes, oh, no, if you were on drugs, we would have known.
Wow.
We would have known and we would not have approached you. And I said, oh, okay. Because, you know, I mean, I was a clean artist, I'll tell you. I did not do that stuff. And the biggest reason was because I'm a nice little Catholic girl, you know.
Yeah.
Raised with 5 sisters and the whole thing. So that none of them ever did anything. You know what I mean? It was back in the day.
Yeah.
I hate to age myself. But yeah. So I said I would do it and we did it. And then they made the TV commercials.
With Drew Barrymore in it.
Yes, Drew is on the big whole video that was on the kids' television channels.
Yeah.
They used it. I forget what the name of the show was, but they were using it on there. And then they made a commercial that was on all over television. As a matter of fact, the commercial, I think, became more popular than the whole video. And Drew did it. Tempest Bledsoe, who was on the Cosby,
The Cosby Show. Yep.
and a few other kids that were on other kids' programming. And yeah, we had a blast.
Yeah, I mean, I'm from that generation, and yeah, every day after school, watching cartoons or anything that's like geared towards kids, that commercial played every single commercial break because
Yeah.
I think it was free, right? I mean, they just threw it in there, so
Oh, yeah. They wanted it everywhere, and they need it now, let me tell you.
yeah, we need McGruff the crime dog back, you know?
We need the gruff back in the form of a Doberman frickin' pincher. Is what we need.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Gosh.
Well, thank you for talking about that because I've always wondered about that. And I would always tell my friends, I was like, that's the girl who sings Baby Love. I was like, no, it's not. That's like somebody singing with McGruff. I was like, no, I swear to God, look at her hair. Look at, you know, but back then you couldn't like pick up a handheld device and look for
Right.
information, you know? So
Right.
everyone
But
had to like,
I wore the same outfit on, I think, American Bandstand as I wore in one of the shots. Which I didn't notice and I didn't realize it right away, but it did get a repeat, that gown, that gold gown.
yeah, that someone posted it recently on Instagram. It was, you know, there's all these like retro sites and, you know, they put the McGruff commercial. I was like, I just wrote a comment, please, more of this, you know?
Aw, thank you.
Well, Stefan, do you have anything else?
Well, I was just going to say, Regina, tell everyone where they can find you on social so they can follow your journey with this upcoming music.
Okay, well, I know you can, it's Regina Richards Official, and I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, and then, of course, the song is on all streaming services. So
Yes, so make
And
sure you
check out
check
the video on YouTube as
Yes,
well.
there's a
Oh,
fun
yeah.
animated lyric video, which is, if you're watching, you can see behind me. And I mean, I'll just say, as someone who grew up as a Madonna fan, when they would play Baby Love on the radio, everyone would be like, "Oh, this is Madonna." I'm like, "No, it's not." You know, like, I was like, "This is not Madonna."
Thank you.
But I think that worked in your favor too, because like the stupid DJs, like Tony was saying, they play thinking maybe it was Madonna, so maybe that helped with the airplay. You never know.
Who knows?
That was definitely the song of the summer in '86 for me, at least.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, we definitely appreciate your interest in having us on.
Yes,
So
definitely.
thank you for that.
Thanks, guys.
And stay where you're at. We're going to wrap up the show. Remember, everybody, you can find us on all social platforms at MLVC Podcast. If you'd like to donate to the show, we're on Venmo at MLVC Podcast. If you've not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, click that subscribe button so you never miss a video. Regina, Stephen, thank you for taking the time.
Much,
this is so much fun. Literally, Baby Love's been stuck in my head all day. So
Thank you.
I'm glad we were able to do this. But so stay where you're at. Everyone watching, we'll see you next time.